What's up guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. I'm so sorry that it has been so long since I've actually posted on this account, but I've been so busy with my new job working at the Whale Shark Oceanic Research Center. It's been so exciting and learning so much about this role. But yeah, topic for today is all about becoming a scuba instructor in marine conservation. Why it is a really valuable certification to have just in general, and why it can really help you specifically in the career of marine conservation. So I wanted to create this video because I just became a scuba instructor only a few months ago in August, and I've been working with a whole lot of scuba instructors, and I think I've learned a whole lot about its value in this industry, and so I wanted to kind of talk about that with some of the people on my channel who might be interested in that. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is basically a little bit about a scuba instructor and what it really is. So a scuba instructor is basically someone that's going to participate in some rigorous training to basically learn how to efficiently and safely teach people underwater according to the guidelines of PADI. Is what I'm going to be talking about today because I am a PADI instructor and that's what I'm most familiar with. I don't know as much about the other industries, which are obviously also valid as well, but I just know PADI, so I'm going to be talking about them today. So a PADI instructor, once they do become a scuba instructor, they pass their instructor examination, they can teach discover scuba diving, discover local diving, open water, advanced rescue, and then dive master at some dive shops. They can work part-time or they can work full-time, and they can also work on a freelancing or a contracted kind of situation. So some reasons to become a scuba instructor, why you might be really interested in this kind of career, is for one, if you're one of those people that absolutely loves an idea of a job that is always doing field work, that is always outside and always around the ocean, then this might be an amazing job option for you, because literally there's no job that has more field work that I can think of in the ocean. You are literally in the ocean all the time as a scuba instructor. It's your job to teach people how to navigate the ocean, how to explore it. Another great benefit of becoming a scuba instructor is that you are an explorer of beautiful places around the world. You having the instructor certification and being a PADI instructor specifically, PADI is a massive organization that is absolutely all over the world. On almost basically every country with a coastline has a PADI organization, and once you're a PADI instructor, if you meet the prerequisites for the position, you can work at those organizations all over the world, and that certification can bring you to some amazing places. The Maldives, Indonesia, the Philippines. There's probably a PADI organization there that you can work at if you're a scuba instructor. Another reason that a lot of people really love this job is that there are generally shorter contracts for this type of position, if there's even a contract. So if you are looking to basically have this job to travel to different places, it's a really nice job to have, because you can work somewhere for maybe 3 to 6 months and then move to another place, or you can just freelance and work and establish a relationship with a dive shop and freelance while you're there. You might not make as much money with that option, but it is an option to make money if you can find a way to work with a dive shop while freelancing, but in that way you don't really have a long-term obligation to stay in any one place, so it makes it really nice for traveling. Another reason a lot of people find this job amazing is because it is incredibly rewarding. As a scuba instructor, you are showing a lot of people one of the coolest things that they'll ever do in their lives. Something so cool, one of my very, very close friends is actually coming to the island tomorrow to experience scuba diving for the first time in her life. And I think it's really cool for, I don't know, just thinking about that for someone that's dived. I mean, I have almost 300 dives now. It's not as big of a deal for me to jump on a boat tomorrow and go diving, but for other people, for the very first time in their life to go, it's insane. You're providing that insane experience to them for the very first time, and you get to watch that excitement on their face underwater when they see a parrotfish or a turtle or an eagle ray or something crazy cool underwater for the first time. You get to be that person that just shows them how to find those things, how to safely navigate that space, and basically become an explorer themselves. I think that's extremely rewarding, and I think you might find that really rewarding as well. Another reason this job can be amazing is that you get the opportunity to meet tons of people from all over the world. If you're a scuba instructor working at a dive shop, you're going to have tons of people that are coming to you day after day to have this amazing experience with you, and you're just gonna meet some very cool people that are willing to go explore those places. Scuba diving, I think, tends to draw a lot of adventurous, very welcoming, cool people. And you get to be one of the first people that they meet. So now to talk about some of the drawbacks of this career. So I know you're probably thinking at this point, like, what are the drawbacks? How could they possibly be any drawbacks to this amazing sounding career? But there are a few, and there's definitely some major trade-offs that you have to think about if you're seriously thinking about this career and really pursuing it seriously. So one of those things is that this job is extremely hard physical work and also the mentally taxing work. So as a scuba instructor, you are constantly in the ocean. You're swimming, you're controlling buoyancy, you are looking out for other divers, and you're often expending so much energy every day. You're also carrying tanks to and from and preparing other people's equipment. It's really physically involved. So just know that at the end of every day, you are going to pass out and be very physically spent. You're gonna have some amazing adventures every day and very cool experiences, but it can be really exhausting, especially oftentimes you are working 6 days a week, and you're often working a very crazy schedule. Because a lot of times when you're working at a dive shop, you're working at some kind of travel destination, and when people come to this destination looking to get dive certified, they often only have a few days, so you have to be willing to have an instructor get on that course as soon as possible so you can make sure that they actually get certified and that the instructors get paid. So you have kind of a crazy schedule. Sometimes you can be working up to 6 days a week and have very long days, but do know that you are having very amazing experiences within those days. Just something to think about. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, and this was kind of the inspiration for this video, is where the scuba instructor position kind of intersects with the marine conservation industry where I'm currently working. And I have to say that there are an immense amount of intersections, and if you are interested in a career in marine conservation, becoming a scuba instructor or even just becoming a dive master can be a massive step into the industry. So scuba instructors are often very involved in marine conservation for a few reasons, and obviously the first reason is because they are kind of like the underwater tour guides for the local environment. So they're constantly showing people ways to sustainably interact with the marine environment, and also a little bit of knowledge about the marine environment, maybe the local species, maybe the local topography, local climate, things like that. Another reason that scuba instructors are involved with marine conservation is that a lot of nonprofits are often going through these dive shops to do diving explorations of some kind, maybe research, maybe outreach, or something along those lines. For example, at our dive shop, we're partnered with multiple different nonprofits, one of which is definitely the Whale Shark Oceanic Research Center, which is where I work. Another is the Utila Coral Restoration, and then also the Bay Islands Conservation Association. All of us do different things with research, with outreach, with coral nursery management, all kinds of different things, but we all have to go through a dive shop to do that. So being at a dive shop, there's always opportunity to volunteer with these nonprofits, to collaborate with them, to spread their word, or to even participate in some of their educational presentations about the local ecosystem, because they are often partnered with them. I'm sure these kinds of partnerships definitely vary throughout the world, and the relationships between dive shops and nonprofits definitely vary in different areas around the world, but from what I've seen in Utila, there is definitely a close relationship between nonprofits, marine conservation nonprofits, and local dive shops. So if you're interested in pursuing a career in marine conservation, I always highly recommend becoming a scuba instructor because it shows that you're serious, first of all, about ocean exploration and about teaching people things underwater, but it also shows that you're extremely capable of teaching people things underwater and out of the water. Going through the PADI system, it's very structured and you learn very efficient ways to teach people things. And going through practicing this over and over and over again, just having that certification and having that experience shows that you are a very good teacher. Another thing is if you're looking to have a kind of job where you're teaching people things underwater, this is obviously a very desirable credential to have for marine conservation organizations. And even if you don't necessarily want to teach people things underwater, if you're looking to try to work at a marine conservation organization, they now have multiple reasons to want to hire you because you can work on their social media or you can work in their community outreach, and then you can also teach people things underwater. So you have this very valuable credential associated with you that also just shows that you're a very capable teacher as well. So if you're still here and you are still interested in becoming an instructor and pursuing this in marine conservation, to become an instructor, at least for PADI, you can definitely pursue other organizations. I just talk about PADI so much because I'm a PADI instructor. I work at a PADI dive shop. I just know all things PADI. Definitely, you're totally free to pursue other organizations. It doesn't really matter, but if you are looking to become a PADI instructor, I just know the prerequisites for it. The prerequisites for becoming a PADI instructor, you need to be a certified diver for at least 6 months. You also need to be a PADI dive master, which I've also made a video about becoming a dive master. If you're interested, I'll link that above. You also need 100 dives to attend the instructor examination. So make sure that you are logging your dives and getting them written off by your DM, your instructor, or your buddy. You also need to have EFR training that is up to date within the last 2 years. So that's emergency first response. And then you also need medical clearance, obviously, for any kind of PADI certification. You need to be medically cleared to be able to do it. You also need to be an EFR instructor, but you can always do that during your instructor training. So the actual instructor training, it can cost anywhere between $1,700 all the way up to like $10,000. There's a massive range, so definitely look at different instructor courses near you or in specific areas that you are interested in working in. I think it's really useful to do an instructor course in an area that you're interested in working in because there's often a lot of networking that happens during your instructor course and after your instructor course. That often helps you land a job. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Definitely check out my Instagram if you haven't already. I post every single day about my life in the scuba industry, working at the Whale Shark Oceanic Research Center, and my life on the island of Utila. And I think it might give you a lot of insight in sort of the life of an instructor. But otherwise, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.